Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started with my lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to the Akim that do this work in truth and in sincerity. Lord willing, this video will be edifying and to the point. All right. And I'm going to entitle this video, all right, are you a family man or are you a man with a family? All right. And it's pretty much line backing, all right, off of another brother's video. All right. Because he was going into, all right, basically the sacrifices of being in the truth and how, things in the world, all right, whether it be a woman, work, or other things, but majority of the time, all right, family, all right, can be distractions, all right, and many men, all right, leave the truth, all right, or focus more so on their family, all right, than the truth, all right. So that's a part of the sacrifice, all right, that, as a man of the Lord, you're going to have to make when coming into the truth, all right, sacrificing, all right, old relationships in the world, all right, whether it be with family, friends, all right, wife and children, all right, and it doesn't mean necessarily get rid of them, all right, it just means to basically love them less, all right, and love the Lord more, all right, put the Lord first and put everything else second. So I'm gonna get this real quick. This is Romans chapter 12, verse 1. And it says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. Okay? And one thing for sure, all right, is that women, children, all right, and of things of the world, really focusing on women and children, all right, they require meat, all right, something that the brother used or said, which is an acronym, which is broken down to basically money, energy, attention, and time, all right, and these are the things that you don't really have, all right, fully to give them, all right, on this side. Although you do give them those things, but you can't fully give yourself over to them, all right, on this side, being a man of the Lord, all right, which is a part of that sacrifice, all right, that you have to take on this side, all right. So let me get this real quick. All right. To back that up, this is Matthew chapter 19 and 29. And it says, everyone that have forsaken house, or brethren, or sisters, or fathers, or mother, or wife, or children, or land, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. All right, and basically, meaning to, put these things to the side, all right, if they get in the way of you fulfilling your lot, all right, as a man of the Lord, all right. you'll end up basically, in the world, you'll end up sacrificing, all right, your time and your efforts for things in the world for absolutely no reason, you know, if you come to think about it, all right, because the very things that you care for in the world, all right, there's no guarantee that those people will make it, all right. Some of the people that we very first told the truth was to our family, and they rejected it. And as the scriptures say, all right, if you were of the world would love its own. But since you are not of the world, all right, the world hateth you, all right. And King David said it himself, don't I hate them, O Lord, that hateth you, all right. So, trying to, all right, please the world, all right, and, make everybody happy, man, you'll really destroy yourself, all right. You'll destroy yourself trying to make everything work, all right. And especially women, all right. Women change, all right. And as soon as she feels that you're not giving her enough attention, all right, or enough of this, that, the third, majority of these women, as soon as they feel that, all right, they're willing, all right, to sacrifice everything for the sake of their feelings, all right. So to be a family man, it will come at a cost, It comes at a cost of your time and your dedication, all of those things which you could have been using towards improving yourself, all right, and doing particular things spiritually to benefit yourself, all right, or physically, either or both. You've used all that energy for the things in the world, all right, So like I was saying, man, women, they're basically, hardwired to basically follow their feelings, all right. And as soon as that attention shifts, all right, it's going to cause problems. All right, it's going to cause major problems. All right, and that's going to become a problem for yourself. All right, because ultimately it's going to destroy your peace. All right, it's going to destroy your peace of mind. All right, trying to make this work. All right, because a woman, they'll try to, basically destroy your peace in the sense of, you'll be trying to focus on one thing, and, they'll try to shift your concentration and focus to something totally different. You'll be trying to meditate on the scriptures. All right, you'll be trying to study, and they see you studying. All right, you'll be studying, and they try to bother you, But have it be that you don't do anything at all. You just chilling, you just sitting down chilling, all right, on your downtime. They don't fucking bother you at all. And that be Satan really working on them to mess with you. So when your peace is destroyed and when your peace is bothered, you can't focus. You can't focus when your peace is disrupted, man. I see it at work. Yo, Jake be just losing his mind, all right, at these women, man. All right. They'll be at the work and they'll be like, well, why are you breaking up with me? What you breaking up with me for? And it'd be the most surface level, shallow reason, man. Well, you didn't go give me no food before you left. Like, what? Jake be going through that, man. You didn't do this before you left, so I'm done. I'm done with this relationship. And Jake can't fucking focus, but Jake be ready to leave the job. I've seen it, Akim. Jake be willing to leave the job, and Eve know what she doing. She know you at the job. She know you can't do nothing. All right, so she chooses to act up. She'll say the most vilest things to you. Full long paragraphs. Just to ick you, just to get on your nerves. I see it all the time. All right? Just to destroy your peace, man. All right? And the peace of mind is better than the peace of ass. All right? Your peace of mind is better than a piece of ass. All right? That is for damn sure. All right? So let me get this real quick. All right? This is 1 Ezra chapter 4, verse 26. And it says, yeah, there be many that have run out of their wits for women and have become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. So yeah, man, many men have run out of their wits for women. And I've seen it, not only at the job, outside of the job, in everyday life, just going about. I've seen it. Guys offer themselves and offering her too, and the children, and I mean, Jake is not only dealing with it, but the other nations are dealing, even Esau is dealing with it. You know, because the scriptures say that the curses shall fall upon Edom. All right, the curses are going to be lifted from Jake, and they're going to fall on the heathen. So even the heathen, they're feeling it too. You know, this Queendom of Heaven spirit, which is destroying, all right, men. Is destroying men, man. Okay? So let me read that in the NRS, which is the New Revised Standard. It says, many men have lost their minds because of women and became slaves because of them. Many have perished or stumbled or sinned because of women. All right? And that's true, man. All right? Women can trap you up. All right? Especially if they know that they can't fucking get to you. All right? If they know that they can't disrupt your peace, they'll try to get you another way, man. They'll try to trap you with a kid. They'll be like, shit, I don't know what I gotta do to get to you, man. I ain't nothing really moving this guy. I know what I'll do. I'll have a baby by him, and he'll be connected to me forever. I don't want him, but I just want to have a baby by him just so I can finally get to him. And that really be fucking Satan, man. Satan working through the woman because she the weaker vessel. You know? That's another thing I see all the time. Dudes having women by monstrous dudes, man. You know? God forbid that she has a kid, you know, for another guy. All right? And you got to deal with it. And a lot of these kids, man, if you see the father and you've talked to him in any type of particular way or anything, or you just see the way he lives his life, you know, nigga's just completely off. You know, that nigga have almost the same spirit as him. you know? I had my brother, my oldest brother, tell me that, man. He was like, it's almost like I'm living, Pop's life all over again. I look at Pop's life and it's almost like I'm living it. Not in a bad way, but just certain little things, you know? Because some of these kids, they don't have no guidance. They just complete monsters. I'm going to get to that too. They just be complete monsters. All right? Complete monsters. But yeah, man, she'll use the kid against you, man. And God forbid that she does. And if she does, then shit, you cut your ties, man. You just cut your losses. Well, hey, look, I tried. I did what I can. If you do have a woman, if you do have a kid with them, hey, I tried. I did what I can. But, she using the kid against me, shit. I'm just going to have to, count my losses, man. And as the scripture said, all right, what we read above, all right, that the Lord will give you 100-fold, man. You sacrifice and you know that this is disrupting your peace and it's causing you not to be able to do the things that you need to do as a man of the Lord, for the Lord. And it requires you to have to put away doing the duty of a man and you have to use wisdom, then that's what it is. All right, you're just going to have to let it go. You handle your responsibilities, giving them money, but as far as guiding them, nope. You just cut them completely off. You let them go, because it ain't no way that I'm going to be with a woman if she going to do that to me. Ain't no way in the world. I'd rather just let you go your way. And if it's so be it, the Lord bring that kid back to me in the kingdom, then so be it. I'll leave it at that. Because, most of these children, man, you can do all you can to try to lead these children, going on the topic of children, you can do all you can to lead these children in the right direction. All right, lead them in the right direction. In the world, they got a saying where, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink the water. Or you can lead a child in the right direction, but that don't necessarily mean that they're going to follow the direction that, you set in the front of them. They'll grow up to be complete young niggas, man. YNs. Destructive menaces to society, bruh. And I've seen it. I've had these kids come over to my house, all right, because of my nephews, all right. And, it's yes, sir. And, they put on a smiling face and they put on a good little act. But in the streets, these kids are fucking monsters. Cops to their house, all right. They stealing guns. They into guns at fucking 11 years old, 12 years old. All right. Stealing people, property. Stealing bikes, money, cash from their own parents. You will never think of it, have you completely fooled for a second until you see him one day with the cops. Oh, I thought such and such was a pretty decent, he seemed like a pretty decent young dude, but have you for a complete loop. Complete degenerates. All right? A complete menace to society. All right? Like that movie, Don't Be a Menace to Society, and it shows you all the type of, they show you all the stereotypes and how Jake act in the world. how they portray them. But a lot of that is how Jake really is, how our people really are. And it shows you how they hate and despise you. So yeah, you got children just being straight degenerates. Or you have a daughter, right, being a complete whore. All right, she's out there. God forbid you have a little girl. All right, she's sneaking out the house, sneaking guys in the house. All right, she fast, as they would say. All right, and I know, I was a teenager at one point. All right, we all was. All right, girls sneaking out of the house to come see you, or sneaking you in the house, hiding in closets, under the bed, in the bed, crazy work. So yes, that is a very much possibility of happening. All right, of dealing with the reality of, even though if you try to be a family man, all right, shit might not work out how you plan it to be. It might not work out. And you see plenty of these shows, Maury, all right, and mind you, some of these shows are scripted, all right, but for the most part, a lot of shit really be going on in people's everyday lives, all right, where they're addicted to drugs, or they into gangs, or they fast, and the women are in the street, you know, the list go on, and the parents are trying to get the kids to, or the child, whoever it is, to try to get right, and they'll crash themselves into the ground trying to get that kid to be on the right path, but they just rebellious. That's just the way they are. And you got to come to terms with it, to just be like, oh, well, that's just what it is. And it's not to say you can't lead the child and guide the child, but at the same time, you got to let the, how they said that, the saying in the world, let the bird fly the coop, or whatever the case may be. You know, you let them go about their life, but, you know, you give them advice on what to do. All right, and you let them face the world, pretty much. You know, but if they just completely rebellious, they just completely don't want to listen, then don't be over righteous to try to fix that situation with them, to the point to where you destroy yourself because they just don't want to listen. You know? So it is what it is. All right? Let me get this scripture real quick, because I was babbling a little bit, but I wouldn't even say babbling. I was real long-winded. Let me get this real quick. This is Matthew 16:25, and it says, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall find it. All right, so, you know, you'll save your life by following after Yahweh Shem Yahushai. If you try to save your life in this world, all right, you're gonna lose it. All right, but if you lose your life, all right, for the Lord's sake, the Lord might have mercy on your family, all right, on your kid or your wife, or whatever the case may be. If you was a good and diligent servant, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and save his child and his wife, or maybe just his child, or however the Lord decides to let that coin fall, because he know it might affect you in a certain type of way. The Lord might save them, all right, because your due diligence. But if you try to save your life, you're going to lose yourself and you're going to lose your family. Point blank, period. So your eyes got to be single on the truth. That's the main thing, is that you can't be, all right, you can't be, all right, a man, or I'm sorry, you can't be a family man. All right, you can't be a family man. You can only be a man with a family. All right, going back to the title of the lesson. All right. So yeah, that's the main focus. All right. That's the objective. That's the eye on the prize. All right. Tunnel vision, the kingdom. All right, and everything that comes with. All right, let me get this last one. I think I'm gonna end it on out. All right, this is Matthew's chapter 6 and 21. And it says, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." All right, so if your mind and your heart is on the world, all right, pleasing the world and doing the things of the world, that's gonna be this. That's gonna be the treasure of your eye. All right, if your eye is set towards the kingdom, all right, being delivered from the Lord, being delivered from the world by the Lord, all right, and all these things, then your eye is going to be single towards the truth. That's going to be your treasure. That's going to be your goal. That's going to be your objective to finish, you know. So, again, Lord willing, this video was edifying. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to the Akim that do this work in truth and sincerity. Until the next time, Lord willing, I say shalom.